Welcome back to Master Gradius's Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Let's keep exploring around this area and then eventually talk to this guy. I'll just steal that. A potion of minor regeneration, that could be good. And 10 copper pans.
Mm-hmm.
These tall glass green pillars appear as if they have sprouted from the earth. The flickering fire sets shadows dancing within. Okay. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic. This is Odin.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
We might as well try.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me about the Adir Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire, a fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
Okay, so it's pronounced Deerwood. Why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Deerwood is a former deer colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Riadserans' work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. Sounds reasonable enough. Out here, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Let's see what you've got. Stores allow you to trade and sell items for copper pieces or items in the store's inventory. Merchants buy items from you at a greatly reduced price. If you sell something, you may see it appear in the store's inventory with a much higher cost. Stores periodically refresh their inventories. Okay, let's get a weapon we can fire from a distance. Let's buy a pair of lockpicks. And a hunting bow, I guess. Not enough money. Should we wear this light armor? I don't think so. It has a defense rating of 0. Let me see the details. Though most Deerwoodens originated in the Adir Empire, Deerwooden clothing has changed a great deal since the initial waves of colonization. Tough garments, often made of wool and deerskin due to the changing weather. I think we'll just wear our slave clothes. So we can sell this for 20. We're wearing simple clothing. Okay. So we don't need this. Okay. Now let's go back here and see if we can open this chest. The scrolling speed seems to be kind of slow. Let me see if I can improve that. I won't bore you, I'll be right back. Okay, that's a little better. Let's see if we can change the party order. Right now it's this formation, but maybe we can do something here. She should be in front. And I think monks are pretty weak at first level. So maybe we should equip... Let's put this in our inventory, in our quick items slot, and maybe equip this bow. We'll put it in slot 2. The first one is, we'll just use our fists, and if those don't work very well at this level, we'll try our bow later on.
Mm-hmm.
Sparful?
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Huh? Sure.
There's a grove nearby. Ought to have what you're looking for. There's a grove nearby. Ought to have what you're looking for.
Huh? Right.
I believe quick save is F5. Yes. Okay. Travelers maybe, or looters, or bandits. Bad sign any way you figure it. The corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe smell wafts from it in putrid waves. A dark crusted bloodstain besmirches its simple linen clothing. Leather armor has a DR of 6. I think we should wear that. That's better. Now we look more the adventurer. And she's wearing some nice scale armor.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Guess that's it down there. Interesting that there's no mini-map. Let's see what the big map looks like. I guess M? Yes, okay. So we got rid of the fog of war here. Why don't we go back here and see what's over there, if possible. I want to be very thorough. And we can double the speed by pressing D, I believe. Okay. The fallen tree
Not looking
doesn't
forward
budge.
to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
Okay. Orland's cradle. Okay, back to exploring out here. Why is he still in front? That's better. Use the tab key to highlight interactive objects in the environment. Nothing there. The footprints around the campfire are indistinct and may have been here for days or longer.
Shh. This is recent. Not good.
I'm gonna give everything to him because I have some insider information that she is only a temporary companion. Okay, that's the end of it there. I guess we have to go here.
Stay quiet.
Sneak mode is cool because you don't necessarily alert the enemy to your presence
Let's check
right
those
away.
outcroppings.
Okay, there's an enemy, and I don't think it noticed us. So let's get a few shots off.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Pillars of Eternity combat uses a pausable real-time system. Because you will often manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real-time to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met. Yeah, we already set that option. 11 damage. Nice. All characters in the game, friend or foe, have 4 primary defenses against attacks: deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. These defenses are based on the character's attributes, level, items, and other effects. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defenses when an attack is made. If accuracy is below the targeted defense, the attack suffers a penalty to the roll, and it is more likely to result in a miss. If accuracy is above the targeted defense, the attack is more likely to result in a crit. So let's review the combat log. And it looks like we've got a bunch of dialogue. Okay, there we go. So, okay, my accuracy is 30 and the wolf's defense was 27. So I have a +3 to my roll. And I rolled an 83. Okay.
Hmm?
One of your characters has been engaged in melee. When characters are engaged, they immediately stop moving. If they move again, they'll provoke a disengagement attack from the enemies engaging them. Your characters will also automatically engage enemies when they initiate attacks against them with melee weapons. Okay. Sometimes a weapon or spell simply isn't well suited to penetrating an enemy's damage reduction. When the attack hits, the DR will wipe out all but a small percentage of the incoming damage. You'll hear your characters complain about it when it happens. Take heed. Note the damage type that's being blocked and switch to a weapon or spell that does a different damage type.
Hmm?
Let's try her knockdown ability. Let's knock down the one that has more hit points. Let's bring in Gradius to start fighting with his hands.
What you need?
Okay, that was our first combat. We did pretty well. I think it's, you know,
Right.
I've been watching other people play this game, so... You scored a crit. A crit is a better result than a hit, and they are more likely to occur when the attack's accuracy is higher than the target's defense. Attacks that do damage will do more damage on crit attacks. Attacks that inflict status effects or afflictions will have increased duration on a crit. Grazes are worse than hits and suffer decreased damage and effect duration. Let's see what happened when we crit. Who crit? Was it Gradius or Kaliska? Gradius crits the young wolf. My accuracy is 30, I get a +3 to the roll, and I rolled a 98. A crit is, I guess, 100 or higher. Okay, cool. And I do crushing damage with my fists, while Kaliska does slashing damage. Let's collect these pelts. And we'll put it in the stash. Let's take a look at this carcass that was devoured by the wolves. That's a pretty cool graphic. We found the berries.
This is it.
As you receive quests, your journal will update with information, with relevant information. If you ever get stuck, open it up and review your notes. Okay, she knows I'm a slave. Kaliska. So what's a slave doing in the free palatinate of Deerwood? Guessing those marks on your back didn't come from loving caresses. I was on a galley at sea. Yeah, how is it you happen to come here? We conspired against our masters. When we found an opening, we took over the ship and sent them overboard. You do what you can to survive. What else can someone be expected to do? Kaliska breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think, I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of the lot? Um, no, I'm just passing through. That's usually the case with the big city, just a little ways further up the road. Where are you headed? Nowhere special, just putting as much time and distance between me and my old life as I possibly can. Seeing as how we're halfway between nowhere and nothing, I'd say you picked the right spot. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odin'll give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? Caliska sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in some city, but I'd do anything for her. She's much better. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here and we'll see. Odima, Odima I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. What can you tell me about Deerwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rauatai and another in Adir. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. All right, maybe we'll see her in Gilded Vale. I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfle's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you some water. Saving? Okay, let's see the quest log. A sudden sickness has overcome me. The caravan master has urged me to make a remedy before my condition worsens. And we found the berries to make the remedy. Find Sparfle. Sparfle seems to be in no hurry to gather water. I should go look for him myself. Gilded Vale is said to be one of the most prosperous villages in Deerwood, full of opportunities for work and wealth. I was told they're offering land to new settlers. The road to Gilded Vale has been a long one, and it's not over yet. Thankfully, traveling by caravan has insulated me from some of the dangers of the Deerwood. And this is my biography as it develops based on dialogue. So this is Gradius. Few people truly understand what it feels like to be forced into the service of another, stripped of freedom and dignity alike, but until recently, this had been your lot in life, hard labor, chains, and the ceaseless gaze of a master. In your homeland Rauatai, you were sold into slavery aboard a galley ship, but you conspired with your fellow slaves. Together you seized control of the ship and sent every last one of your masters overboard. You have decided to travel to Gilded Vale in order to distance yourself from your old life, and it may not be long before you depart in order to further increase that distance. You fell ill traveling with a caravan bounded for Gilded Vale. The caravan master sent you off with one of his guides, Caliska, in search of a remedy. And here's the Bestiary, or the Bestiary. We fought a wolf, so far we know a little bit about wolves. Their might is 11, that's what we know, and their defense rating is 4. So this is like the weakest monster in the game. And this is afflictions and injuries, character statistics, combat mechanics. It's basically information that will help you to play the game better. And here we can create notes. Cool. I want to see where all these things go that we collected. Okay, it's gone to our stash. Okay, that's good. And she's carrying nothing, which is what we want, because she's only a temporary companion. Where was he? I believe he was over here. He's supposed to be collecting water for our remedy.
Went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Calliska waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply toward the tree line. Out of the trees emerges Sparful, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait, a spastic wobble in his ordinarily deft stride as he moves toward you with labored breath.
Sparful? Are you alright?
Sparful's toe catches on a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. I think we're under attack, ladies and gentlemen.
Ambush!
Okay, who do we take on first? I guess the closest guy. I'll have her lead the... You know what? Maybe we can... No, we're not going to split up. We're going to attack one guy at the same time. Okay, I was just hit. So I have one wound. And shouldn't this be activating? Well, let's keep going. Oh, I was probably hit by the melee archer. Now I have this ability. Alright, let's see what it does. You know what? I'm not gonna waste it on him. He's almost dead.
Hmm?
We're just gonna kill him. Now she's gonna go charge after him with her knockdown attack.
Yeah.
And he's gonna use his bow. I told you, monks are weak at first level.
Hmm?
Now her knockdown attacks are per encounter. She can do 2 per encounter. This is just 1 encounter, so we might as well use them all. Okay, let's search the bodies. Okay, we're gonna stop here, and in the next video, we'll go to camp and probably fight some more of these evil doers. See you next time.